Hey everyone, welcome back to Patriot Ridge Farm. It's Mike, and we've had all seasons this week. We've had rain, we've had snow, we've had high winds, we've had 70 degrees and sunshine, we've had tornadoes in this state, and it's flooding. So that's pretty much what we've contended with. So I hit hail and snow and everything else just going into work the other morning. And again, that just delays us more and more getting our projects done on a farm. And I hate to keep getting on here and telling you guys that I haven't got anything done because of the weather, but I really haven't got anything done because of the weather. At this point, after the last video, if you've seen it, I'm just going along with it at this point. Today, I'm out here changing blades on a lawnmower, put the sharpened ones on, take the old dull ones off, going to sharpen them up, and I ended up breaking a bolt off in the pulley. So I had to take the deck apart, take the pulley off, and now I'm going to have to drill and tap and get that bolt out of there. and I'm going to smile and just move on with it at this point. And I can't mow grass anyway because as wet as it is and muddy, I would end up with just making a muddy mess in the yard. But I wanted to try to get a leg up on things just for, you know, when it does dry up enough where I can cut grass, I can mow grass because it's definitely in need of it. The chickens, I have turned them loose. They are free ranging right now. They have automatic doors on their coops that open up about 7 o'clock in the morning. But I opened up their runs because their runs are they're quagmires. They really are. And I didn't want them just sitting around in that mud all day and scratching around in it. So I just turned them loose and they're out there scratching and filling their gullets up with earthworms and everything else. So that's really cut back on the amount of feed that they've been eating as well, obviously. And that brings me to the fact that H5N1, you guys pay attention in the news, see where that one place down in Texas, they had an outbreak of H5N1 and had to euthanize 1.9 million birds and 1.9 million laying chickens, to be exact. And that, of course, is going to seriously affect the egg supply down there in that region and the areas that they supply to. So if you've got backyard chickens that are laying, and thankfully ours are laying fantastically, then it shouldn't be a big issue to you. But definitely it's going to affect the main consumers and everything like that. And there's concerns of it actually, you know, spreading as anything does like that. And they've even had one person test positive for it, which is one of the first ones that they've known with this outbreak. And I think he ended up with just like some eye irritation, like eye redness and stuff, almost like a pink eye or conjunctivitis. But they tested him because of where he works, and it turned out he had H5N1. And hopefully that doesn't turn into a thing. I mean, if you got red irritated eyes, that's one thing, but if it goes further, that's going to be a problem. We were able to get the pigs moved this past weekend. I got the sows moved over into another paddock. I moved the piglets out of the paddock they were in into the paddock that the two sows were in. And that way they could really give it a good working over and everything like that as everything's starting to green up. We haven't started on the middle field yet, getting it fenced just because of the weather. And I mean, it is what it is. You just have to move along and go with it. So we got a lot of things going on. That's a big surprise, I know. But chickens, you know, we just continue to move forward as we go. We had bought a camping trailer here a few weeks back, and we get the kids out, you know, get them camping and everything like that. Now I know you can tent camp, and that's real camping, and we're going to do that here on the farm this year. But you know, we wanted to get a travel trailer because we really like the state parks in West Virginia, and we've been just kind of keeping our eye open. And we actually ran across a little over 5.5 acres over in the eastern mountains of West Virginia, and it is 100% totally off grid. It is literally the top of a mountain. And there's no utilities whatsoever up there, and you probably have to run utilities close to a mile to get them up there, so we're not going to invest that kind of money in that. But we're looking at doing like an off-grid camp, take the trailer up there, park it, and I'll look for water up there. I'll dowse around and see if I can find something, maybe do one of those Sandpoint hand-driven wells if we come to that. Otherwise, I'll just build a structure. We'll do rainwater catchment. And because of the elevation, I think we're over 3,000 feet up there in elevation, if I'm not mistaken. We get great wind up there. It's open up on top, and it's got a lot of good sun. So I've been looking at off-grid wind and solar kits that has a little wind turbine and everything like that, and some solar panels. So we're probably, now we've made an offer. They accepted. We're going through the processes right now. They've ordered the appraisal. We're kind of waiting on that. You know, we may get it, we may not. It just depends. But if we get the property, that's going to be a real good project for future content on here, because I really want to get into that. And I don't want to go something to the scale of doing my own home yet. because that's a huge investment. But what I want to do is have the opportunity to have a little place like that and see how it goes and see if it works enough for us. And I mean, we won't require a bunch of electricity at all up there, but you know, even if we have to go with rainwater catchment and everything like that, there's cost involved in that, but it's really no big deal. But it is absolutely secluded is a mild statement, and very, very private. And the property is absolutely polluted with blueberries and huckleberries, and I know the kids will be real excited when those come on. So here's to hoping that comes through for us. But again, it'll give us a chance to do a little off-grid work and stuff like that and see how it works. And there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube to look at for that, to get some ideas. But we've already been planning, and you know, in the hopes that we do get it. So hopefully good future content for the channel. Next thing I want to talk about is you know, it's no big secret. I tell you guys what I do. I'm a registered nurse, and I do chronic care management, which means I help take care of and manage people who have chronic illnesses like uncontrolled diabetes, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and things like that. And we've actually included weight management into our program as well, and we've been having some really, really good success with those patients. And you know, I myself have fallen off the wagon here over the last couple months. I've been pretty much eating indiscriminately, and it's like when I eat and I'm full and I'm satiated, it's like I want more. And it's not that I'm hungry, it's just something I want more. And I just enrolled a guy on my program the other day, and he had sustained an injury to where he had lost sense of taste and smell. And he told me, he said his weight gain is because he eats, and even though he's full, because he can't taste, he's not getting that satisfaction or that satiation because of the lack of taste. And you know, in 2020 I got COVID, and I ended up with long COVID, and I've got about a quarter of the taste and smell that I had way back then. And add to it, like this time of year with a lot of pollen, and any time my sinuses get jacked up, I lose all sense of taste and smell. And you know, that was an eye-opener for me. So I actually learned something from him. He explained it exactly what I couldn't figure out for myself. So you know, I've made the start today. It's after 4 o'clock today. I've not eaten at all today. I've had a couple cups of coffee, and that's it. And I think I had a bottle of water, and that was it. I haven't eaten at all today, so I want to get back on intermittent fasting. But you know, and it's one of these things I need to practice what I preach. And I usually was doing really good with that, but like I said, I fell off the wagon like everybody does. But I want to tell you guys, this year is, with everything going on in the world, all the unstable issues going on with Russia and China and, you know, Iran and Ukraine and Israel and Hamas and everything like that. And then the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapses and everything like that after the ship hit it. You know, those are big issues. Those are big issues, and our supply chain has been fragile, to say the least, for a very long time, and the pandemic really put a big hamper on that. So I really, again, and I say this all the time, or I've said it multiple times, is you guys, I really want to encourage you to start eating and buying local. I want you to start buying your vegetables and your meats and stuff like that from your local producers. That doesn't mean your local Walmart down the street. That means find out who your local farmers are, find your little local meat markets, your local meat producers, your local butchers, your local growers and stuff like that, and start buying from them. We know our economy's in the tubes right now, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. So as that continues to go, I mean, we haven't been to Walmart for anything substantial. I've been like twice in the last 2 weeks just to pick up a couple little things. But, you know, we're really starting to sustain ourselves more off of what we have, what we've canned, what we produce here. I've still got a bunch of chickens left from the last batch that we processed. And, you know, we're going to eat a lot more from here. And now that we're getting close to the growing season, you know, we've got all of our sprouts started. We started everything from seed. We save our seeds every year. We grow nothing but heirloom, and everything that we grow the next year is from the seeds that we harvested the year before. So, you know, there's that self-sustainability and sufficiency for us. And, you know, as we grow here or start to plant here, which is going to start probably the weekend of Memorial Day, and that's just because of the risk of frost. We'll plant everything. We'll still plant in the raised beds like we have been doing. And as we get this greenhouse finished and get it ready for planting, then, you know, we can even start growing and sprouting new stuff in it, because we can grow longer in the year. And you know, you can go to your local farmers markets if you have any in your area. A word of caution is something that we found out is that one of the local, we'll just call it the Gucci farmers market, one of the local Gucci farmers markets here, it's a little bit more upscale and a little bit more affluent folks attend to that one, is a couple of the growers there who advertise and market as, you know, locally grown, come to find out that they're actually going out of state, buying a bunch of stuff in bulk and bringing it back here and selling it as their own. So people are paying premium prices on stuff that they got at wholesale prices. So just be aware of that. Like I said, that's where that whole know your farmer, know your food thing comes into play. So, you know, we've got a butcher that lives right across the hall from us. He's got a nice little shop. He does fantastic work, and he's just, he tells me all the time, he says, I can't keep up. He said, man, the demand is just amazing. He said, I can't keep my freezers full. He said, I'm selling out all the time. We got a meat processor just a couple miles away. He raises his own cattle and butchers them there, does everything that he needs to do there and sells them out. He's a commercial guy. And, you know, then we've got several other little places around the region and stuff like that. But, you know, and I've said this 100 times before, you know, what you're buying in a grocery store, big chain grocery store, when it comes to, you know, like the meat and stuff like that, you know, those are raised on feedlot. They're not the best product. They're bringing animals now in from out of the country and allowed to sell them as made in, or, you know, grown in the USA as USA beef and stuff like that. And most of your commercial chickens are raised in houses. They never see green grass. So, you know, look to your local farmers and local producers. Even if you got to travel a little bit more, you're going to get a better quality product. You know that the veggies and fruits and stuff that you buy off a local farmer that's raising it and growing it, you know it was picked at ripeness and not 2 weeks before it was ripe or even a month before it was ripe. And it's completely full of all the nutrients and nutrition and stuff that you need versus what you're getting off the supermarket shelf. And hopefully you find somebody who doesn't use chemicals and pesticides and herbicides. But we really need to get back into this more and really put our focus on that and even grow more of your own. I mean, if you go back to World War II when they had the Victory Gardens, it's like American families during the World War II with the Victory Gardens, they raised 48% of their food. 48% of their food. And what are we, 1% now? Probably in that range. And look at the chronic illness that we have today. The diabetes, the heart disease, the strokes, and everything else that people experience. And a lot of it has to do with lifestyle, but the biggest impact is from the food or the food-like products that are being marketed as healthy, comes out of a box, highly refined, highly processed, heavily sprayed, lots of chemicals and stuff like that. You know that's impacting their health. If we could tie one thing, if I look at all the patients that I have, I can 100% look at their food and where they get their food from and tie that to a lot of their problems. And, you know, our numbers don't lie. They speak for themselves. And, you know, we have people on our program and stuff like that, and they're like, I didn't know I could lose weight like this. I didn't know I could get my diabetes under control. I didn't know I could get my blood pressure under control. I didn't know I could feel this good. And that is just from the coaching and everything that we give them to eat better, eat more local, eat, you know, less refined foods, stay away from seed and vegetable oils and things like that. So we have fantastic results, and you know, the numbers and the people, they speak for themselves. They'll give you their own testimony right then and there and tell you how much better they feel, how much healthier they are, how many medicines they've come off of. So the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the foods. The proof is in the lifestyle. And, you know, we all need to get more active. That doesn't mean we need to join a gym. We don't have to go run marathons. We don't have to do that. We just need to get out. We need to get active. We need to grow more of our own foods. You don't have to have a bunch of land. You can grow in containers. You can grow in raised beds. You can grow in 5-gallon buckets. And again, I've repeated this and said this 100 times before on my videos. Do more for yourselves this time. Do more. Take advantage of it. Get those seeds, get those planters, get those buckets, get those raised beds, whatever you need to do. You know, get you some mulch and stuff like that, or some compost, and make some rows in your backyard. Excuse me, throw some cardboard down, make some rows in your backyard, and plant and get that stuff growing. And no, it's not going to be 100% sustainable for you. That's not all you're going to live on, but it can significantly cut your grocery bills. As we know, those things are just going through the roof. And it actually has flavor. I mean, like I've said before, you can go buy a tomato out of the store like this time of year, and it's absolutely flavorless. And that thing will sit on your counter for a month before it even starts to go bad, so you know it's not a good product. So go out there in the garden, get everything planted, go to your raised bed, your buckets, whatever you're doing, Pick that ripe tomato off, take a bite out of it, and you're going to know what a real tomato is supposed to taste like. So that's going to be my little message for today. Just do more for yourself. You don't have to be an off-gridder. You don't have to be a prepper. You don't have to be none of that stuff. You don't have to be a farmer. You don't have to be a homesteader, farmsteader, whatever the catchphrase is this week. You don't have to be any of that, but you can do a little bit more for yourselves. You can get better food for yourselves, safer food, better nutrition, and improve your health all the way around. And you don't have to buy a greenhouse like we did and have to fight the weather to try to get things done. But it is what it is. In the end, it'll all be worth it. All the frustrations and stuff that I've had leading up to it'll all be worth it in the end. So that's my message for today. I'll leave you guys at that. Get and stay prepared, stay free. God bless y'all.